Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Once again, we got my guy, Steve Blackledge. And Steve, you are coming from a full weekend, the final weekend of the season. Very exciting, man. How are you doing? I hope you rested.
I can rest a little bit more, but yeah, I'm a little bit rested. Yeah, it was 4 pretty long days out there and going back and forth from Wright State to UD to my motel. So yeah, it was quite a weekend.
Yeah, very busy and action packed. Well, let's not waste any time, man. We have four teams down there representing Central Ohio. Columbus Academy was from Division Five, and they played their semifinals Friday against West Muskingum. Got the victory 59-44. What can you tell me about that game?
Uh, they played pretty well. They the defense won the game just like they pretty much have all season. I mean that's was their mo was defense and Jason Singleton. So that was pretty
Right.
much expected. I think that they would win that and. In turn, I think it was pretty much expected that they would have trouble in the finals uh, with Luther and East. So it's
Right.
repeat of last year. They couldn't beat Luther and East. Not quite enough size and talent to keep up with that juggernaut. But great
Mhm.
season. Great season, all things considered, for Columbus Academy to get to the state championship game.
Absolutely, yeah. And I wasn't expecting that, but when you got somebody like Jason Singleton leading them, anything is possible. But in the championship game, I saw they were down big, and they made it look respectable.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to cover that game. One of my colleagues was. I was at another site covering another game. Can't see everything at once, but yeah, I did
Right.
hear all about it and read all about it. Yeah, they did. They just couldn't. Obviously, their shooting was a little bit off, and yeah, it just wasn't their day. And I don't think anybody gave them much of a chance against Luther and East anyway.
Right, right. They will have to play pretty much perfect basketball to have a chance with Lutheran East.
Yeah,
But
I saw Luther and East part of their semifinal game after Academy semifinal game, and yeah, they're not scoring much, but they're doing it with their height and their defense. I mean,
right,
I knew it'd be a hard matchup size wise and athleticism with them.
right.
Academy was a little bit short-handed too. One of their starters was not available this weekend, so apparently was on vacation with his family. So picked the wrong time to go on vacation, but that's I guess that's the way it goes.
Absolutely. I heard it was spring break last week, so they had a international vacation planned.
Well, yeah, and I didn't look like the first night when I saw Academy play. There couldn't have been more than 20 students in the stands, and everyone asked where they were. And I said, "Well, they're either in Aruba or they're back home studying, one or the other." So
Right. Absolutely. Hey, well, let's talk about one of the games that you did cover Saturday. Our Westerville North, who we both thought was the best team from the area, and they didn't have too much trouble with North Royalton, huh?
yeah, they looked like vintage Westerville North in the semifinal. Yeah, they played just the kind of way they typically do. They hurt you with your speed, and as Coach Trusley always says, they like to take you to deep water, and usually they just wear you down towards the end of the game because they got so much speed, so much pressure thrown at you. But they had a
Right.
good, really good semifinal. They were. Yeah, the really all North Royalton had was a big guy, and most of it came at the back end of when they gambled, and they just when Westerville North gambled, and they just happened to break the pressure and get a layup back the other way. So,
Mm,
uh, yeah, it was an
okay.
impressive semifinal win for North, and it sure set the stage for a championship win, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. We'll get into that, but let's talk about the other game Saturday. the big one as far as Central Ohio is concerned with Hilliard Bradley and Pick Central. We saw what came down to the wire, man.
It was a great game. It was. I, I shouldn't say it wasn't. It was a better game than I thought because I really thought it would be that kind of game. It was the way Bradley plays. I mean, if they're playing on top of their game, it's usually a 40s and 50s game. And both he and Coach Kruger both said afterwards in the press conference, we think this is going to be a 1 or 2 possession game, and that's what it
Right.
was. I was especially impressed with Pick Central's defense. I thought they really played well and gave them a chance to win that game. And it came down to the wire. And I knew when it got down to a minute and it was tied, I said, "Well, I know Bradley's going to play for one shot. That's what he does. That's what Brett Norris always has been
Right.
known to. Let's hold the ball and play for one. We've got two of the best guards in the area, and with no shot
Mm-hmm.
clock, that's what you do. You give yourself the best chance to win the game, or worst case scenario, go to overtime. And
Right.
yeah, they worked the shot. Norris's boy Kipton got a shot off from the right wing, a 3-point shot. It clanked off the left side of the rim, and two guys were fighting for the rebound, and it bounced directly to Jaden Reed Davis, and he made the easy
Right.
layup. Not a soul around him, and he made the winning layup with a second to go. So it was a heck of a thriller.
Woo, that's a tough way to lose. So they held the ball the last minute of the game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Central had made a 3-pointer to tie it from the wing, and they made it really exciting. And then, according to Norris, they had a planned shot in the last minute, and they ran a set, they ran a play, and Norris's boy drove into the lane, and the shot wasn't there, so he dribbled it back on out to the key and held it. So that's how
Mm,
that developed. But it was a heck of a ball game. Yeah, it was
right.
exactly the way I thought it would turn out point as far as points went. It was a low scoring game, and that's the way it went. It was a good ball game. Congrats to both teams.
Oh, absolutely. Well, representing Central Ohio well with that one. All right, no. So Sunday, set up Sunday. We had two Central Ohio teams in the state championship division. One in Division Two. The first game was Division Two with Massillon, Washington, who never has won a state boys basketball championship, versus defending champion Westerville North. Great,
Well,
great game. That's one of the best games I've seen all year, man.
it was, but in the same token, Westerville North just did not play its A game. Did not play well. Massillon did. Credit to them. They played well 2 nights in a row. Actually, they played really well in their semifinal against Lima Senior. That was a really good ball game as well. But yeah, North very atypical game for them shooting. They just could not throw the ball in the
Right.
ocean. They were not good, and they gave. Massillon a chance, and Massillon took it to them. It was a good ball game, and you know, eh, North, I think they had their chances. I mean, they had a 15-point lead in the second half, and they frittered it away and gave Massillon a chance. And Massillon's a talented team. I mean, they weren't 26-1 for no reason. So yeah, it
Right.
was a good ball game, and about all you could ask for in a championship game.
Absolutely. And I was sitting up there with a buddy of mine who's a Massillon grad. He and a couple of his guys, and when Elijah McCree hit a couple threes in the third quarter and they pushed that lead to 15. I said, uh-oh. And they told me, said, man, Massillon has been down many times, 14 points and come back to win, 18 points to come back and win. So they weren't worried. I said, well, this is Westerville North. Westerville North is one of the top teams in the state. And with the grit that Massillon play with now, like you said, Westerville North gave them plenty of chances by missed free throws. I don't know what they were from the line, but I don't think it couldn't have been 60, maybe 60%. But they gave them a lot of chances by missed free throws and missed quite a few layups, putbacks. getting to the rim, maybe getting bumped, not finishing. So those plays set up Massillon, gave them a chance, and man, they once you open the door for them, like you said, they have a lot of athletes, and they played hard, and what really hurt them too was when Perkins got his fifth foul. That really hurt Westerville North because he kind of he's the heart and soul of him. He calms him down. McCree is the guy. He gets him going with the scoring, but I think Perkins controls the pace and controls things a lot, a lot for them, and that really hurt them.
Yeah,
As well as, go ahead.
yeah, some of the people I talked to on the press row, they thought that Westerville North maybe let up a little bit with the lead, that they really stopped attacking a little bit. It's everybody's a second guesser. Everybody thinks they're a coach, but yeah, the bottom line was
Hmm.
they just didn't shoot. And I mean, they're a team that had a high shooting percentage all year, and both from 3-point range and from the field, and it just it evaporated for them, and they
Hmm.
lost it. I mean, they tend to get better as the game goes further, but like I said, they like to say they take opponents into deep water. Well, they went into deep
Right.
water this time and they drowned. It looked like so they just
Right.
you
Yeah.
know that's
Absolutely. The key play within under 10 seconds left, and number 11, I don't know his name. He had the beautiful pass to him, wide open, and he kind of slowed up to go off of 2 feet, and it seemed like he was trying to wait for the defender to get the foul. And number 21, Williams, I believe, for Maslin, had the block against the backboard and went off of McCree, and they got the ball with 7 seconds left. Didn't get a shot off, but that was the end of the game. If Westerville North makes that layup, the game is over.
that was definitely the key point of the game right there. And the guy that blocked the shot was a little guy too. He wasn't a real big guy if I recall. And yeah, he
Right?
did
No, he
slow
wasn't.
down when he was going in for the layup, and it yeah, that was a pivotal point in the game right there. You're
Yes,
absolutely correct on that one.
absolutely. So Westerville North loses in overtime to Massillon, Washington, 68-63. Like you said, it wasn't Westerville North's best game played, but I mean, it's one and done. You only get one shot at it, but it can't take away from the great season that they've had, man.
No, no, for sure. It was yeah, to win the state and get runner up in 2 seasons is quite a run. You can't take anything away from the coach or the kids, and they they
Right.
they do things the right way over there at Westerville North. It's class
Absolutely.
act, as Coach Trustley always points out. All of our kids come from here. We've brought them all up through our middle school and our youth programs, and I mean it's not a team that relies on transfers or any of that kind of
Right.
stuff. So it's yeah, it was yeah, fine season for them, for sure.
Great season. Great season, man. Wish they would have turned out differently, but it is what it is. Life goes on. Roll with the punches and on to the next season, or seniors on to the next level.
Correct.
So, last game of the weekend.
And
I
it,
was excited to see this one. I didn't know too much about Cincinnati Princeton. Obviously, I knew they were good, but I knew Hilliard Bradley, with their defense, they could always keep themselves in the game, but they just
but
couldn't
they
get any
didn't.
offense.
But they
They couldn't
didn't.
get any offense, man.
They it started off 14-2, and that does not bode well for Bradley because they like to start fast and control the tempo and do
Yes,
what
sir.
they do, and it did not start well, and it just kept getting worse. It was yeah, they. I think most people who saw the semifinals thought that Princeton would win. I mean, Princeton looked really, really good in their
Okay.
semifinal win over Lakewood St. Ed. They just destroyed St. Ed in the semifinals, and obviously
Hmm.
Bradley had to scuffle to beat Pick Central, who, let's face it, was a
Right.
9 district seed, so they weren't
Yeah.
maybe the powerhouse that they've been in the past. So I mean, I've seen Bradley many times this season, and they're not an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they do it with defense and they do it with grit and winning a lot of games. 50-40 or
Right.
like that. And they had two scorers is basically all they have, and they're both guards and didn't have much size. And Princeton was just no match for them athletically. I mean, they were really good. They deserved it. I mean, it was a heck of a performance by
Absolutely.
Princeton and their first championship ever, like
Right.
Steubenville's. So yeah, it was a heck of a bad way to finish it for them. And I looked up a statistic which I thought was kind of strange. I looked through the program for a while last night coming up with this, but that 28 points was the lowest point total at any Division One state final, any big school state final, dating back to 1940. And the ones who did it in 1940, Paul Brown coached the Massillon Tigers football and basketball teams, and his team has the record for the least amount of points ever in a Division One state semifinal. And then the next game, they had an even lower total. Canton McKinley did, the team that beat them. So that's how far it goes back to when somebody
Oh,
scored
that's tough.
28 points in a big school game. So I don't know. Brett Norris can take some consolation that he's in the same company with Paul Brown now, but
I don't know if he wants to be in that company, but
I don't think he does. But yeah, great season for Bradley, and they're only going to get better. They only had one senior on that team. That was Jordan Reed Davis, who was a
okay.
more defensive specialist who scored like six
Right.
points a game. So while he
Right.
was a very valuable part of it, they're all coming back, and it's Kipton Norris is going to be a superstar. I mean, he's a sophomore, and he's only going to get
Yeah.
better. And they've got Ben Mergen back, who's a junior. So as long as they can add a little height to the program, it'd be nice if they
That's what I
had
was gonna
a
say.
6'5"
Hmm.
kid that could play under the basket or somebody that could loosen up the guard play a little bit. It would be very helpful for them. But that's a fantastic program, and they're going to keep excelling.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely know that because Brett Norris has kept it going for this long. So it's just a little roadblock, not a stop. So they're gonna get over this hump. But yeah, I was just really impressed with Princeton there. Their pressure, they knew to take away Kipton Norris and number three being they knew to take them away. They pressured them full court all game. They just kept different bodies on them, and they just really made it hard for them to score. If they couldn't create for others really, and it's tough. And then once a Bradley gets down like 15 or something, they're not like you said. They want to control the pace, and they don't really. They're not going to really pressure you to turn you over. They're just going to be solid. So it's really hard to get back into the game. But once you get down like that, but
Well,
like
I
you
I
said, a
asked the
great
coach
season.
afterwards, the Princeton coach, and they put their 6'5" and 6'4" players. They played them out on the wing, out on top, so that they could keep more
Absolutely,
Norris and Murgon from penetrating into the lane and doing head fakes and stuff, so that they could get shots. So it was a
absolutely.
concerted effort by them to take those two away, and it worked
Yeah,
out very well for them.
yeah, you can definitely tell that, and that was the right that was the right thing to do. So great season by Bradley, and you know, woo, another one is in the books, man. And great year by from Central Ohio. Hopefully, we'll have more than 3 teams represent us in the state next year. But I mean, 4 teams. But
Right, right. Well, yeah, it was a fun tournament. I didn't see any of the games in Division 6 and 7 because a lot of the games overlapped, and we had to run back and forth
mhm,
from Wright State and Dayton. But I didn't get to see Cam Elwer from Delphi St. John, and I wanted to see him, and I
mhm,
never got a chance to. And he led his team to the state championship from them, but.
right,
I also didn't get to see D6, and I guess the Berlin Highland and Maria Stein Marion local game was really good. It went to a double
right,
overtime
right,
before
absolutely.
Highland won that one. And I watched the Division Four. Wyoming really took it to Glenville in Division Four, and I thought was really impressed with Cincinnati, Wyoming. They played fantastic
Woo.
basketball both nights I saw them. They beat
Yeah.
Maysville the first night, and Maysville was the defending champion. Beat them by
Oh yeah.
17, and then they came back and beat Glenville handily. So that was a really
Absolutely.
impressive performance by Cincinnati, Wyoming, and they had a couple super players, I thought. Uh,
Hmm.
and the Division Three to me was the most exciting division of all of them. There were
Hmm.
two great semifinals and a great state final in Division Three.
Right.
Trotwood beat Toledo Central Catholic in overtime in the one semi.
Hmm.
Steubenville beat Akron Hoban 60-58 in the other semifinal. And then they got
Right.
to the final, and Trotwood beat Steubenville by 1 point, 48-47. So all three of those
Absolutely.
games had plenty of drama. They all came down to the final possession, and the Trotwood game, they made a miraculous shot from the corner to force overtime. The dead corner, I mean, the guy was practically behind the basket when he threw it up and it went in. And then they made another huge clutch shot in the overtime to win the game. So Trotwood really was
Oh,
kind of the,
man.
they were the wild card of the day. They were fantastic. They
Right.
really played well. So
Right.
congratulations to all those teams, man.
I'm gonna put this in your ear when you talk to some of the powers that be. We need an all tournament, winner. The winners from the 7 divisions. We need to go ahead and the next weekend play to get one champion. They can be state champions in their division, but I would love to see a Princeton and Wyoming and a Trotwood in there and a Delphus St. John's and Berlin High because it's only one game. Who knows what's going to
Well,
happen?
with
So,
with seven divisions being an odd number, that would make it awfully hard to have a tournament to really determine a champion. I don't know how they would do that, to be honest with you. I think
I've already thought it out. Division One get a bye, or Division Seven get a bye. One of them get a
you're giving
bye.
them a bye, huh?
The higher our ranked team in the RPI or whatever max prep, you get the bye.
Well, I heard
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people that don't, they don't like the fact that driving back and forth from Wright State to Dayton, and I don't know how you curtail that. I mean, I think the
Hmm.
prevailing notion is that they should not have 7 divisions. I think the prevailing notion around Ohio with the people I talk to, that's media
Yeah.
and coaches and stuff, think that they should have expanded it from 4 teams to 5, not 4 teams to 7, like they did. But I think that's way too many championship
Way too
games.
many.
But talking to
Absolutely.
some of the commissioners from the OHSAA, they felt that that was more in line with what the rest of the states of our size were doing. So they wanted to, you know, they like to give out medals and trophies and give
Yeah.
everybody a chance to win. And I don't know, that's our culture today, I guess. Let's reward
Goes
everybody. But
very much with it.
I think that the it really caused a lot of the district tournament games to not mean anything anymore. Really, I mean, there were a lot of
Right.
mismatches with seven champions, and I mean, there were some district championship games that were just walkovers, and some of them,
Yes.
some runner ups got medals and they didn't even win a game. So, I mean,
Right.
that's
So what is the
to me,
district
that's just
anymore?
my opinion. I think 5 divisions would have been better than 7, but that's just my opinion.
I'm right there with you, and everybody I know is too, man. I mean, the district has become the new sectional,
That's right.
so it's tough, but this is what we're working with, so it is what it is. Steve, I appreciate you, man. This whole season, following through, coming through for me, man. And anything you want to say on the last
No, I think
episode?
I don't have a whole lot more to say. I'm heading out on a vacation in a couple days, so I'm going to relax for a while, get basketball out of my head. Maybe watch some of the Final Four stuff and the NCAA's on
Right.
some TV at night. But I'm basketballed out right now.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. Well, take care of yourself and enjoy yourself on your vacation. And just like that, it's gone. There went the 25-26 basketball season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And, you know, relax. Now we're going to check out some AAU out there. Only, hey, man, with them prices, man, they gonna have to start streaming AAU now. I ain't paying no $20 just to see a couple games, man. That's crazy work. But it is what it is. Appreciate you all as always for checking us out every week. We're gonna take a hiatus. Next year we're gonna come out with some preseason stuff. We're gonna build it. We're gonna build it. This is only the beginning. But again, I appreciate you. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe. Always one love.